Hi Pisces, welcome to Lit Intuition Tarot, Twin Flames in Recovery. My name is Kay. Any information you want about the channel will be in the description box below, as well as a link to my website, which is where you can book a personal reading with me or order a personalized avatar birth chart. Oops. So the last couple of weeks I've been focusing on the twin flame connection. And in the mornings I've been doing the yang readings, which would be for those who identify more with the light, masculine, or active energies. And then in the evenings, as with this reading, I do the yin polarity of your sign, which would be more of the shadow, feminine, or passive polarity of the connection. You may alternate between the two. Therefore, if this reading doesn't resonate, check out your reading from this morning. And a note to cross-watchers, while I never intend these readings to be a method to spy on one's twin flame, I don't judge. All I ask is that you use your discernment and reverse roles as necessary. I will be using the term you throughout this reading to refer to Pisces, what I think of as the Pisces Yin collective. So having said all that, I'm going to set this black tarot deck aside and go ahead and cut this Fallen Angel Oracle deck and get 2 cards to get an overall theme to begin our reading. So the first card says, Shax, 37, Danger of Loss. I've seen the number 37 a lot lately, y'all. Somebody could be a life path 3, life path number 7, 10, or 1 plus 0 being 1 could be significant. We also have Gushin or Gushin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but the number is 8 and it says choice. So you have 1 and 8 there, they boil down to. I'm just pointing those things out for those whom it may be significant to. Alright, so looking up number 37 in the book, it says, Shax, element air, planet moon. Guard against theft, not just of money and goods, but reputation. Shax's totem bird is the stork. This is not the child-bringing stork of recent folklore, but the child-stealing one of ancient Greece. Shax is a great robber and used to be the patron of horse thieves, but any kind of wealth or treasure attracts him. He can dull the sight, hearing, and understanding of his targets, making it easier to go about his trade. If you are not planning a robbery yourself, in which case Shax's support would be welcome, beware of those who would rob you. Okay, something that was coming to me while I was reading that out loud was just to be careful of overindulging in any kind of substances at this time, or of accepting any of those things from people whom you do not trust completely, because it was talking about dulling the sight, hearing, and understanding of his targets, making it easier to go about his trade. In other words, rob them. I actually had that happen to me last year, and my laptop and my credit cards and everything were stolen because I got drunk with some friends and they had brought some people over I didn't know very well. Well, of course, I don't consider the people that were over here that I trusted to be my friends anymore, but I took a loss as a result of my lack of care. So, just something to think about. Okay, so card number 8, choice. Gushin says, element water, planet Venus. A major decision presents itself, a fork in the road of your life. In visions, Gushin can take the form of a wolf or a baboon-headed human, which relates him to the Egyptian god Thoth, the emissary of heaven. He is a master of clairvoyance with a clear view of past, present, and future. He gives wise inspiration to those in doubt, reconciles enemies, and distributes rewards and honors to those who have earned them. His appearance indicates that it is time to put aside uncertainty and take decisive action if you wish to achieve your aims. I wonder if we'll see the 2 of Wands out here in the tarot spread today. We'll find out in a moment. First, I'm just going to clear the rest of this deck off the table. Okay. Okay, Pisces, Yin Collective. Here we go with the top row. We're starting out with the Eight of Swords. Then we have the Seven of Spheres. The Page of Spheres. Then the Queen of Swords. Excuse me, clearing my throat there. And on the bottom row, there's the Five of Spheres. The Three of Wands. The Seven of Swords. And the World. Whoa, okay. Okay, Pisces. So I've pre-shuffled this deck over here as well to clarify. We'll get into the spread. The first card here is a message from Spirit to the runner of the connection. So at different times you may find yourself more in runner or chaser energy. I'm sure you're familiar with the dynamic if you're here. But in the case of the runner, you would be the person who is more likely to ghost the other one, to not communicate, to perhaps seek other people or things to kind of distract yourself from the connection or to break away from it. You know, you might feel kind of uncomfortable with emotional attachments, might have like an avoidant attachment style. So the message here with the Eight of Swords, and you're not the only sign, and I'm at the end almost now. I just have Cancer and Scorpio to go. But there's already been, I think, a couple signs that got this card in this exact position. And it's Spirit's way of saying that running actually, it's like you're setting a trap for yourself and running into it in a sense. Because by running, you might think that you're escaping the uncomfortability, if that's a word, discomfort of a situation. However, it's kind of like that creating your own prison vibe, because it gets you, your mind, it gets you caught in a loop within your thoughts. Instead of feeling with your heart, it's like you just get into overanalyzing the situation, and you just feel like, oh, okay, screw this, I'm going to run from the situation, I'm going to ghost, I'm going to cut off, whatever. But then you find yourself unable to relax or feel at ease. Might have a lot of racing or recurring nagging thoughts. So let me go ahead and clarify that and see if Spirit can give us any advice on perhaps how to alleviate that or anything else to say. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles, Earth Energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And I'm picking up very clearly that it might be time, actually, if you have been in that runner energy and considering reaching out to your twin, particularly in response to their attempts to reach you, that this would actually be a good time. It's suggested that you approach perhaps with humility and, and with your ethics in play, I guess I should say. So, with friendly intentions, with intentions to make some kind of solid offer to maybe patch things up or overcome an understanding. Just make sure that, you're being sincere. So, I understand as a runner that might not be your first inclination, but for someone out there, that's definitely a message. I can see that someone's thinking about doing it, and it's saying here, like, you should go ahead, just make sure that your motives are pure. What the next card here, being for the chaser, Seven of Spheres, Taurus energy. So if you find yourself feeling insecure when you're not communicating with your twin, and you often reach out to them first to initiate contact, even though you know it might not be the best idea, you could be the chaser. You might feel like you're slightly more spiritually advanced than your twin. It kind of flip-flops back and forth as you teach each other lessons. But here with the Seven of Spheres, Spirit's message for you is that if you were to actually pause, look at what you have sown, because that's what you're going to reap, rather than chasing this person, give it a chance to grow. Give a chance to your seeds for them to grow into fruition. Because when you start to just chase, you already know what happens. The runner runs further away, and then the next thing you know, you're left feeling alone again. It's time to kind of stop where you are, take stock of the situation, and understand what you've put in. realize that you do deserve reciprocity, and that, you know, it's kind of like a be still type of energy. I'm not going to clarify that because I think it's pretty straightforward, but Spirit has been doing this to me with a lot of the yin readings. Sometimes I have a little bit of confusion with some of the cards and the positions they're in and how they make sense. Right off the bat, as far as why you and your twin are drawn to one another, with the Page of Spheres, I'm picking up that there could be a mutual interest, perhaps even kind of discovered together, in like esoteric or occult matters. So divination methods such as, this tarot reading or Ouija boards or pendulum, whatever you call that, or scrying or whatever. So that might have kind of enriched your life. It was a common interest that drew the two of you together, especially if there was a conversation about the twin flame connection, which of course can follow along those same types of lines. So the two of you have a very, it's like a student type of vibe, which I often get from the Page of Pentacles. You're willing to bring what you both have that's worth something to the table. Again, we already saw the Page of Pentacles over here asking you to, act on that energy that's already in place. So both of you being willing to learn from one another and to learn more about this connection and what it means in your life. So that's a good thing. If this is something that you haven't been experiencing up to this time, Pisces, this might be a good indication that it's time to bring up this issue in some type of way with your twin. Now, if you think they're the type that's just going to dismiss you and think you're crazy, and it's not the right time, I mean, take that as it resonates, but it might be time, because that's definitely something that will be a draw for the two of you to come together if it isn't already in operation, okay? So then with the Queen of Swords, I'm going to clarify this. I was going to clarify the Page of Spheres, but I think I actually kind of already picked up on what Spirit wanted to say with that. So I'm being moved to go on to the Queen of Swords. This is Libra and sometimes Aquarius or Gemini energy. And this is supposed to be what's so great about your connection. So although I really like the Queen of Swords, I have a Gemini moon, and I often slip into her energy at times when I need to think rationally, with a head over heart kind of energy. I'm not understanding exactly why this is what makes your connection so great, so I'm going to go ahead and clarify that. Okay, we have the Hierophant energy. So this is very much then about the fact that there's truth between the two of you, and that you don't accept anything less from each other, and that whenever you receive less from each other, you instantly know that it's bullshit. And I'm hearing something about how, with the Hierophant, it could talk about religion, but I'm picking up more of the vibe of sort of like a structured doing things by the book kind of vibe. So I think that when the two of you are together, you're very interested in truth, and you're very interested in verifying facts and stuff. So that solidifies the connection. You two have a trust in each other as far as certain values and certain things go. I'm not picking up any kind of I'm not picking up any kind of distrust of each other, as far as sexual infidelity or anything of that nature. It just seems like there's a very good basis for trust there, if you're willing to tap into that. I don't know. Of course, the twin flame connection fluctuates a lot, and that might not always seem available, but that is there in your energy. What's negative or complicates the connection, actually? The Five of Spheres, Taurus energy. There have been times when you felt like the whole thing was you were just making it up, and that you were really all alone. And that maybe you just made up the whole thing because you didn't want to feel all alone. Particularly if you were in separation with your twin. And if you were in the chaser vibe too, and picking up that if your twin ran, it felt like the Five of Pentacles energy is very uncomfortable for me right now. I'm just feeling it very heavily. So it's just kind of a feeling of being abandoned, like an orphaned vibe, feeling like you've been left out in the cold and you can't contact your twin. Even, sometimes you'll have that almost telepathic connection where you'll see their name somewhere or hear a song, and you at least, it reminds you of the connection, And I feel that there are times when it's like there's a total blackout, and for whatever the reason, you're not able to feel your twin. That can complicate it, as one or both of you may start to feel like the whole thing is just, a fantasy. Let me clarify that. Spirit, please clarify the 5 of Spheres for Pisces Yin. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Well, at first I thought it was in the reverse, but it's not. That's Major Arcana for Sagittarius energy to me as a reader. Then the High Priestess, which is your energy, Pisces, as well as that of Cancer. And then we have the 3 of Wands, which we also have in this next spot. So, I believe that this can be changed somewhat by focusing on, the fact that with this spiritual connection there with the High Priestess, even when things go quiet, the Wheel of Fortune is upright. It is still working in your favor. And that with the 3 of Wands, you will manifest what you desire. This is about the twin flame connection, so of course it does apply to that, but it can also apply to other aspects of your life as well. So even if your twin flame connection seems like it's in a total rut and you feel kind of a despair about it, go within, try to feel your twin telepathically, and just be patient and wait, because you've taken some of the steps necessary toward whatever you needed to do. And if you're at a standstill and you've already done everything that you can do, then you know that the universe, it's fate for the things to work in favor of the union coming into fruition eventually, is what I'm picking up. It's just kind of like a little bit of advice, I suppose, when that kind of vibe of feeling abandoned does complicate the connection, just to focus on the fact that the wheel is turning in the two of you's favor. However you say that, plural, I don't even know. Okay. So how your twin is helping to heal you, we have the 3 of Wands again there. I believe that you have learned, to some degree, that, the Spirit's got you, is what I'm hearing. I feel like you might be kind of in an energy where you're not totally 100% invested or believing in the actual twin flame connection, but there's a part of you that feels it to be very real. So it's kind of like I was saying, having worked on the steps that you can do, perhaps to better yourself, to feel better when you're in separation. It's like you have this hope that it's like it gives you something to hope for, because deep down you feel that it's real. So it's almost like they've given you a sense again of realizing that your hopes are going to come true. I think that's really sweet, although it makes me feel kind of sad for some reason. The way that you've helped to heal your twin, now this one I definitely want to clarify. This is the 7 of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, and it talks about trickery and deception in all forms. So I want to see how that is, that helps, that you're helping to heal your twin. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is that perhaps they've been treated that way by other people in their past, where they were deceived, manipulated, and hurt, and perhaps you don't treat them that way, so they're able to heal from past deception. But I'm going to go ahead and just ask Spirit to, can I get 3 cards or less for Pisces Yin on the 7 of Swords? Knight of Cups, Scorpio energy, also sometimes your energy, Pisces, or that of Cancer. So, this is going to sound really corny, but male or female, I believe that it's like your love coming toward this person healed their wounds that they experienced from other situations, like you're helping heal their trust issues in a sense. I take it that that's, of course, when the vibration is high between the 2 of you, and that can fluctuate wildly within the connection. And, just because you're here maybe vibrating more at the shadowy frequency or whatnot, doesn't mean that, everything is going to be bad or dark or discouraging. It's just a different angle to look at the connection. And it looks like here, you have words of love, or you show this person attention, and so if they are experiencing that wound also of the 5 of Spheres kind of energy where they're abandoned, having someone truly come toward them with interest and love and an emotional invitation to connect, it helps this person to trust. Perhaps those in the past who, did mistreat them they didn't even try to hide their intentions. Maybe they've just been really horribly treated throughout their life, been through abuse or whatever the case may be. And so this is a very refreshing energy for them, this Knight of Cups, this love coming toward them between the two of you. The final card here of the tarot is the World, which is major arcana for fixed energy. So that would be Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. And the two of you together, when you are as one, like if you could kind of meld the energies and look at it together. The World card, yes, it does represent the end of a particular chapter, but to me, especially here, it's also about like completing something successfully. So in the sense of like graduating or ascending. So when other people see the two of you together, they feel like they're in the midst of like a higher love. Again, that sounds really corny, but it's true. The two of you kind of show an example to other people of what is possible, like transcending like the so-called love that we have today, thing that's become really cheap. And I'm not being old-fashioned. I'm all for technology and the advancement of such, and social media and all that kind of thing. But it's very easy to just get involved in a lot of really cheap, meaningless connections. And when you and your twin are together, it's very obvious that that's not what that is. That it's something very sacred and divinely led. I don't believe I need any clarification on that card. I'm going to end your reading, Pisces, by splitting this pre-shuffled Twin Flame Oracle deck and getting 2 final cards. So the first one says Destruction, Tower Moment, Unexpected Change, New Opportunities. Okay? Be aware that a tower moment may be approaching. Then we have Perception, Red Flags, Delusion, Perspective, See Through Your Own False Beliefs. Alright, Pisces, I appreciate your time and attention. Check out your Yang reading from this morning if you'd like. Otherwise, I will see you guys again next week. Please like, share, subscribe, and tap the notification bell and the all button. And have a wonderful weekend. Bye, Pisces.